call the meeting to order, I guess. First thing we have on our agenda is Bill Williamson. Bill called me yesterday, and I went up there and looked at this deal. I'm going to show him these pictures.
That's
It's
fine.
linked to it for you. But Bill's north of my house a ways, and what the deal is he's got a pond on his property, big pond, it's pretty close to the road. The township is basically draining the water out of the ditch into his pond. Here's where they just took the grader and cut through on the edge of the road, to where it runs into the ditch. And then this is the channel that has eroded out of the ditch into his pond. And then this is another channel on the other end of the pond. So I don't know. I told Bill we really didn't have any say-so over townships, but that might be, I'm pretty sure that's not legal to run ditch water into a man-made pond without Twist's permission. And I told him that he probably should contact Kansas Department of Water Resources or staff people that can be in touch with whoever needed to.
I have contacted them, Paul. They could be nothing over there. He gave me Janelle Phillips out of Manhattan to call, and I called her. She called me back yesterday morning. She said that it's not in their jurisdiction for them to do anything. She said that under KSA 68-115, that the township has to maintain proper water drainage, in the township. So, I didn't know where, Eddie, he did stop me yesterday and he looked at it, but I don't know what they come up with.
When I called Eddie and he said, what do we need to do about it? And I said, well, one thing you need to do is you need to get some rock fill in those channels where it's run right into your pond.
Right.
And I don't know what else they need to do, but they need to get those channels filled in where it doesn't just run in there every time.
Right.
Did you bring that big picture how far it floods up on your property?
No, I didn't.
He showed me a picture there.
Yeah,
the last.
you took one on your phone.
Oh, yeah. It floods up about 100, fills the whole pond up and then floods up there about 125, 150 yards off the road towards his
That's
house.
a deep pond. too.
What's that KSA number, what?
68-115, that's that lady up there.
That's what it looks like out there. I mean, it pulls a lot of water.
I think they could probably go north with it, but I don't know, because
They put in a set of tank batteries about 100 yards north, and then they have just approaches without holes. So I don't know. I didn't have the number for Terry's lead. I knew Terry had talked to somebody about the water drainage across the road down there, but I didn't have Terry's number.
Go ahead, Mike, look into this statute.
It says statute concerning opening and repair of roads by county engineer or township trustee, drains and ditches, penalties for obstruction, compensation for road work and the duty of the township board to maintain such road.
I'll stop by the soil conservation office and see if they have any idea as far as that. Because we're not maintaining the road, it's maintaining the ditch or the water that's coming off of it.
yeah,
So basically what you're saying is they're just kind of opening up the ditch so that it runs on the...
and it runs from, I live on the east side of the road, but it comes from south, the corner south of me, about a quarter mile. Roger Fancher has some level circle out there. has a tailwater pit, but he doesn't pump the water out of it, it just stays full all the time, and then whenever, you get a big rain, it runs that pond over halfway out, out into his field, and then across the roads, each way, east and west, and then north on the Great Bears land, and it comes up and then runs across the road right in front of my place.
So it's more than just cutting off the roads, it's cutting off people's
It's-
land.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been involved in a few of those things, and in a wet year, they're just gonna say water is gonna seek its
Well,
own.
yeah, I understand that, but there's no place for it to go on north, to even take part of it to get it out of there. It all just dumps in my pond. When we had that tornado, that White Greensburg got, we got 11 inches of rain, a lot. But, it flooded clear up in my property, into my barn. I ran my log splitter, a mower I had in there. I had lumber stored in there, just got soaked. It was 2 foot deep. And running across my driveway, I had that much fence post, electric fence post sticking out. The water was probably at least 2.5 foot deep across the driveway. I couldn't get out.
I think if they would dig the ditch out farther to the north, clean out the ditch and then put culverts in, it would keep the water from getting that bad.
Yeah, and even on the west side past Bear, the same thing on his property culvert, because there is ditch, that it's just been farmed in and blow shut, that they need to be cleaned out.
I mean, is the township board refused to talk to you?
Well, I worked for them for 3 years here, and they fired me last August because Eddie wanted frowns in these roads. The guys from the county, Pete and them that do the graders, they would come up and do some of Todd's Township up there, just east of Radium, and I watched them guys do that mile, and he taught me how to build these roads. And I told Eddie and Greg, you guys, we gotta stop this, and just go in one ear, I think, and out the other. I could, it took a lot just to get them to put sand on some of the places. I built up quite a few places, that had those spots, and I was looking on, but he wanted me to yank the roads up, and I told him, you can't do that all at one time because you'll trash them. And he wouldn't listen to me, so he sent me down the road. He just, they don't, they're aware of the highway, but after 3 years, I learned how to run one of those, and I knew what to do, and I've been doing it. We had a lot of terrible mud holes up there, fixing them, but all of a sudden they wanted this done, and they fired me and hired another guy that they don't pay very good money, but he had them kept from in the road or inside. Now we've got bridges along the road where every time you get rain, you've got a river going down each side of the road, and it's a one-lane road. And I told him that yesterday, it just ain't working. And when we get a rain, the county, the dirt that came from that pond built that road up from my place south to the corner, and they let clay on it, and that's pretty much all it is. And when I pull out of my drive, I slide to the west, and then you gotta have me a four-wheel drive just to get on the road, and then you gotta stop and back up to straighten out where you can go down the road. And I've got kids that I take to the bus every morning around 6:30, and when we get a good rain, I have to go clear north and around through Radium to come back over to meet the bus. And then we have to leave, before 6:30 in the morning just to get clear around there. That's, that's early for little kids. I've got my granddaughter and got a boy at home too that I have to take every day to school. But I've been after them guys to at least put rock or something on there. We bought 2 semi-loads of rock over 2 years ago, and it's still sitting on the great big tax. Got home with it. And, you know, Eddie asked me yesterday, why didn't you fix that when you was doing it? And I said, because you was sending me everywhere else except for what needed to be done. You know, we got 3 main roads up there that people use quite a bit, and mine's one. It's just, you know, just, don't seem to be getting over it, so that's why.
They are their own entity, though. We don't have any control.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, under this statute, we're not doing their job, then what do we do?
The only recourse you would have is to
Civil
sue
suit.
against the township. And I'm just telling you, in this weather, you're not gonna have any luck.
Yeah. That'd be nice to get it fixed before it does, but, you know, at least get it in the spring, at least.
Or the other thing would be, is to run for the township board.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
You know, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
That's why we have elected positions.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid, I mean, that's really the only recourse. There might be a big talk to be had.
so Paul represented
This
county road, and basically the water runs down the ditch and then it's cut a ravine off county, township ditch, and it runs through and goes up his pond. So he's wondering what he can get done to keep the township water.
You think they cut the ditch out though, just so that they get the water run off of their pond?
The little berm, you know, the little
Yeah.
windrow, they cut the little windrow off on one side, right beside that trench. So I mean, they are
Run
trying,
off the road?
yeah, they're trying to get it run off. But I mean, it looks to me like the first thing we need to do is try to bring in some rock and fill into those ravines to try to keep it and then figure out something. But I'll try to find that weed you can touch with, because there's gotta be some, this deal here doesn't state anything about water drainage, it's just more maintaining the road and,
Right.
you know, what the,
It's probably nothing you can do already in that statute.
but if I can come up with a number, I'll visit with Rita Sharks out of Soil Conservation, I'll continue to try to get Terry Sleeves' phone number. I don't get much.
Yeah, I could probably text him, you know, he drives a bus up there.
Yeah.
The hand shooters. He might be able to catch him.
Terry Sleep drives it for Maxwell.
I don't know, you're still doing that.
Because his deal was more of the water drainage running across the road. So,
Well, you know, I think if they, you know, redo them ditches and put some culverts in, keep that on north, that would eliminate a lot of that.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's things you can do, you know, like you said, that tailwater bit.
Yeah, you know, and Roger refuses to hook his pump up and run it back through the systems. And it stays, when it stays full, you know, and then there's a big deep ditch right there from the corner south there on Roger's side. But it only goes for a quarter mile, and that thing's probably 10 foot deep. But I told Eddie, I said, you need to take that on south, you know, at least to the half a mile line before you start your grade up, and that one's going to need a lot more of it, too. And then even on John Keenan's side, on the other side, you know, there's, you know, they can put a ditch in there and culvert it across into that, too.
Where does all this water eventually, where should it run?
There's that little creek that goes through Raven, cuts
Yeah.
across it, and it comes, I'm thinking across north at Bear's Place, right in that area maybe, and then it goes northeast, across Anschutz's ground. There's some big old deep holes, look like ponds and trees back there where a lot of that used to collapse. But, you know, like Tim Asher told me here a while back, he said, you know, the water doesn't get there anymore. They built the road up there just north of Ryan's, and they should have put, I told them they should put a culvert in that, and then do it. Now it backs up on Brian and Tim. And Tim said he's lost 10 acres because of that too. You know, Brian's lost some too because of the water back. So, I don't know, the natural waterway should take a lot of that out of it.
Yeah, if you determine where that natural water
Right.
should be.
Right.
Probably needs a plan.
Okay. We'll try to find out who you need, that's it.
You got the number?
Yep.
Give me a call.
All right,
Thank you.
Marshall Sanders.
It's me and Misty.
All right.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
We need to probably,
All the way.
probably 10 minutes.
Just discuss all that first.
Including returning, like sheriff present. Go ahead. I make a motion, we go in executive session for non-elected personnel, including Mr. Robinson, Nita, and the commissioners, and Marshall, and Misty, for 10 minutes.
Should we make that 15?
Make it 15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And it would be Mayor Patton, just part-time employee to help out with fire department and as an EMT.
Second.
Does the MT portion of that need to be in there? Because he's already first bringing it. And his name's Patrick. We have a motion to second to hire Patrick Hemming as part-time assistant fire director. Help us out. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. We need to, we don't need to make motions for that.
No. Just go ahead, we need to do that on the web. Either. Or post it in the newspaper.
Where do you guys usually,
Do you have a fire website, you get this website, sit down?
Sure you do.
I bet you do somewhere.
Oh, I got listserv. I do. I can put
that
it
would
out
go
on
more
listserv.
across all
Yeah, that's
AOC
EMS.
as well.
Yeah, that's EMS, and it goes out to everybody, every state. Oh, yeah.
to try to get a little bit bigger?
So do you need a copy of this?
Do you?
Yeah.
I think you need some. You want me to run it in the papers?
I don't
Or
think
you
it's
just want to try to
necessary.
do it? I don't think,
You're gonna have to go.
it's costly.
No,
I
I'd say
don't
put
think
it on,
we should.
post it on the web.
You can post it on our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
You want to email me that, Neil? So I can
Yes,
just
I'll
post it
email
to
both of it,
listserv?
and you guys just push it out to whoever.
Okay.
There's a state EMS has a website.
Yeah, it's a Kansas, yeah, it's a Kansas Board of EMS.
And then fire is the same way.
Yeah.
Penn State Firefighters Association. Yeah. The other thing, we can apply for a grant through the fire department. It's due April 15th. It is a 50% match grant. We've done it in the past. We have some tanks on trucks that are in need of replacement, and this grant would allow us to apply for that. Basically, they only pay out $4,999. So I mean, the most we would match would be that number. We don't necessarily have to spend that much, but that's the most they would pay out. I'd like, just ask for permission to go ahead and apply for it and see if we can get it. With our trucks getting down and some of them that we're looking at moving beds over on the newer trucks, we'd like to replace tanks at the same time.
Fire department budget can handle that.
Yeah.
say go for it.
Is it three?
Maybe Kansas Forestry Service.
We have a motion for that. Okay.
No, it's under flyers.
So we need to bring something up, have a sign, something.
I guess the only time it would be is after if we receive the nurse, they accept it. Other than that. Todd, I know you weren't here last time, I kinda updated them guys that I'm working with Phil and Cindy on all the ID cards for the fire department EMS. I've been attending the station meetings, I've got 2 tonight to attend. And, just so you guys are aware, the first we're gonna have a chief's meeting. And after that chief's meeting, I will be in with our projected replacement of gear, like we had talked about here a while back. We're gonna try to have all that finalized that night, so we can have an idea of what we need to spend over the next 10 years and get a good plan in place for replacement.
So we can maybe do a stair step deal, like all
Yes.
year.
Yes. Get it all broke out between wildland gear. The only thing that might take a little bit longer to do would be truck replacement, but for the most part, we've about eliminated all the old 2.5 trucks. We only have one of them left, and it's actually broke down right now. It's one we're looking at getting the truck through Forestry Service for. So,
Did you guys get your parts and see that happen?
picked them up, brought them back. Jerry's got all that stuff in. He said they've actually worked on it. They can now move the truck and start it. And we're working on getting all the finishing touches done to it.
Did you bring some extra batteries?
I brought 6 batteries back. We have 4 on hand if we need them as soon as them 4 are done, probably. And that, Nita, I signed that voucher on that one. That price come back cheaper than what you guys have approved, I'm not sure.
Did you tell Todd about the prices of batteries?
Yeah, I think they're $78 a piece,
Yeah.
so,
As opposed to 100?
almost $200 better. So, we've got 4 on hand, we've got extra air pots on hand, and Jerry's kind of putting a list of some of the stuff that we have to replace consistently with these trucks that go out. Minor stuff, but we're gonna get parts list together and have some of that stuff on hand, so we're not
Making special trips?
making special trips.
You can get your AirPods up there through the Forestry Department.
Yep. Yeah, we actually have a few extra ones because I picked up, there's 2 different types and I picked up 4 of each. They needed some for that truck, so we do have extras. Outside of that, I think that's all I got for you guys.
Very good.
Thank you.
Are we good to go?
You're good to go.
Is that right, Chip? You're running around the block?
Thought about seeing how I did, but thank you.
Lori's car was, is that basically just to make sure the VIN number matches?
Imagine that it's not stolen, it's a state of Kansas deal, originally out of another state, make sure that, it's clear.
I'll make a motion, we accept the tax roll corrections.
Second. A motion and second to accept the tax roll correction. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Move we approve the minutes of the March 13th.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the minutes for the March 13th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Did the 2 of you get a call from a person by the name of Mike Self?
Is he the one with
The
the
Department of Commerce?
Oh, yes, I
He's the
did.
one that
I did.
I wouldn't give out your personal
Yeah,
information
you
to.
said you probably know about this one.
I never got a call from him.
I
He
did.
probably couldn't find your phone number.
Well, I don't have a call.
Well, I told him,
Now, I just told him I didn't give out personal information,
Yeah.
so he must have tracked you down some other way.
Well, anyway, he had my email address.
You got all my stuff already.
Did he tell you that
Department
his,
of Commerce?
yeah, that his supervisor wanted everyone's personal email address and phone number? That his supervisor, her name is Rochelle Rowland. And he said, you can call her and tell her. I said, we prefer it to be gone through the county clerk, just as a filter. I don't want information come from the Department of Commerce to my email, and I might not even see it. It would be a waste of time. But he would talk to her. She was out, he called me on Monday. She was out of the office, but he would talk to her on Tuesday. And he said, but I don't understand why the Kansas Department of Commerce wants all the commissioners' personal
He
emails.
wouldn't give me any information like it was.
Well, he was just
top
a-
secret of the secret.
He was
of
just a
life or
go-between.
something. I know.
Because he said, I don't know how many times.
Why would
mine-
they need our personal?
That's what I said. When I
So-
kept emailing him back, and he just kept, I was like, we don't give those out.
Because if it pertains to county business, then all correspondence should go through the county clerk, as far as I'm concerned.
I just don't give out your
But anyway,
phone
I
numbers
have-
or your emails.
I have her phone number,
There he is.
unless this persists. Do you have it, Nina? Did he give it to you? Her phone number?
What is it?
It's 785-296-3345.
Her name is what?
Rochelle Rowland, Rowand. And he's the assistant,
Yeah.
Matt Self.
I've got his contact information.
How we doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you doing?
All right. All righty. First of all, I'll get you updated on the appeal process. When we know about the valuation notices, has gone extremely quiet. So we've had some questions, but it's nothing like we've seen in the past. Actually, the lowest we've had in appeal.
So your job's secure, you only
So-
over the 5%, are you?
Just in case. Just in case I went fast, I think, okay. So that's went well. Personal property is going good. We're getting a lot of oil and gas in the personal property. Everybody's rendering. I shouldn't say everybody, because there's still going to be like 150 that's going to get a penalty for not rendering yet. Believe it or not, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I was thinking the main reason you guys wanted me to come down was about the commercial or the farming practices of dairy and swine possibly.
Yeah.
Kind of like the dark money book we were talking about. There's a lot of gray areas you guys in this right now. What that map right there is believe it or not, for KDHE, we're in the Southwest District. Barely. So I think we're in there, anyway. With the zoning, and I talked to Victor Foster to clarify some things, those farming practices are still in Kansas considered agricultural, okay? And remember, agricultural is exempt from zoning. But where my question came up to him, and he's going to do a little research now, is typically at those facilities, they have a hospital. An animal hospital or an animal clinic or what have you, which falls under special use permits for our zoning regulations. I said, so if you have one part of that facility that should fall under zoning, shouldn't that entire process be then for a special use permit? And he somewhat agreed with me on that. He said, but nevertheless, and KDHE hasn't called me back. I've been leaving a message with Matt, and to see they actually will have the federal regulations over us if somebody wants to come in. Okay? They're gonna have to go by all the state regulations, qualifications, and so forth. But what I would also like to do, and I guess I'm saying this because you guys rescind that, you guys talking about rescinding that resolution? Okay, okay. He doesn't think I'd be all wrong having him fill out a special use permit though either. And I'm assuming it's gonna be in the A1 district, because I'm assuming they won't come that close to the town. A2 districts are closer to the towns and so forth like that, so.
So is there zoning put into place? I mean, is this something that we'd have to do? I mean, I don't want a hog facility put up across the road from my house. Do they have that to where within a mile, you have to get people to sign on, something like that?
Our permits do. The special use permit would be within so many feet, you're gonna be recognized and you're gonna be able to come to that hearing. And it's probably, to be honest with you, if you guys remember the old company over on Stafford, was that originally Agrex? You remember we had to move all the zoning hearings up to the courtroom. So more people would come than just the people notified around them. We would have to move our zoning hearing up there probably. Well, I guess we'd have room next door, yeah, but anyway, at that time we didn't have room, but yeah, that would see actually more.
So if they're going to put in a hog facility across from my house, I have the ability to come complain, but I can't stop it.
Yeah, that's true. But you would bring that up, and then see that would go to KDHE then also, and then they would look at that regulation. Probably if one would be like that, they would look at drainage,
Yeah.
water. The water's going to be huge, you know. Now this is just a total guess. This may not be an accurate statement, but Quivira would get involved if a dairy or swine was going to come in.
As far as runoff, as far as runoff into the river,
As far as
usage on the water.
that's what it
They
is.
pump a lot of water.
Because they actually got involved when the dairy was in Pawnee County. You guys kind of remember that when it was just on the other side of the county line. This is probably, time goes fast, but probably back in 15 or 16. But that's when they got involved, that's when it was over.
but I mean, if these facilities come in by a circle or two circles where they can have the water roads.
I don't know if that's enough water though.
Really?
Depending on, they say on the powdered dairy now, that could be because they drain that water out and reuse that water from the milk and so forth and make it a dry product that ships out. That might be a little different if that would be the process.
I mean, I guess I'm just looking at like Golden Belt where they got 60,000 cattle on site feeding every day with water. You got a dairy that's got 500. I don't see why a dairy would use that much more water than one 60,000 head feed out with.
Well, it would depend, I guess.
You know, if you go up into Iowa, Illinois, I mean, it seems like about every 4 or 5 miles you have on somebody's corner, they'll have a hog feeding, 2,500 head building. Then you see them out there for liquid fertilizer, you'll see the 4-inch lines running around. So that's kind of more what I would see would come into this area.
Okay.
Deals like that. And those, I mean, right now where they're a confined feeding area, that we would have to approve this or something like that.
Well, you remember now on the smaller facilities and so forth, the only way we can try to get a permit is by using that hospital. If they don't have those, if it's going to be a small one, they're just doing that facility, they're agricultural. And then KDHE would hopefully step in with their regulations that would be strong. But you have
So
to
are you
remember
saying-
though too that like in Iowa and Illinois and so forth, their soils are so different.
Yeah.
We're so sandy, we have to just be careful, which Ryan has to be careful with all that runoff, even with the septic. We're just we're so sandy. It's just an advantage in some ways, but in other ways, sometimes it's not.
So if they just had a feeding facility without a hospital, they could go and put it in right now.
No, because you still have your resolution.
Burton Line feeding.
Yeah.
So, how is it that Dunn's up there, is that because it's not a feeding facility?
And they
it's
were
a breeding?
grandfathered in.
They were grandfathered in.
They can really do whatever they need to do.
So right now, if somebody tried to put in a facility like theirs, they couldn't do it right
That's right.
now unless we change
That's
the
right.
process.
That's right. Same with, it used to be fancy, but they looks, it'd be grandfathered in.
So do we
Trying
need
to
to,
help you much there, but
would we need to make any changes to our zoning if we were thinking about doing this? Or do you think basically the state would?
well, if you remember, we're still kind of waiting now. This is second year to get our zoning that good. I think I think our company that is our consultant is just extremely busy. Because I still got my tabs for when we had the meeting out at the restaurant to refine the whole guide. And so we're 2 years behind on that. And that was one thing we wanted to add in there. Wind, I mean, we do have the wind in here, but once again, with Square, that's probably not going to happen either.
So is there something written down on that? I'd had somebody asking me about wind farm or wind turbines here in Stout County, and I said, I thought we were in the flyway too close to the rear. And they were saying, well, is that actually written down somewhere? Or is that just what the clear says?
I don't have it written down. The only thing I have written down on the paths for the airways was for the airports. You can't be within so many, even north of an airport. To where, and that was brought up years ago when they talked about a wind farm on the south part of our county, that it was still too close to the Pratt Airport. Is that what it? Yeah.
Because that boundary extends into what, 2 townships and?
Just barely up into
The way
our
their,
county.
the way their runway sits.
Yes,
And so forth. This
south of Maxwell.
This road just kind of got brought into the thing. Up on the south part of Ellsworth County, there's going to bring in a big 600 megawatt. They've been doing leases and so forth. Supposedly, until the government got involved and said that's where they do their turnarounds for the flybys. They use Canopolis Lake from
The bottom
from
range.
the air guard and everything. They make their turns, and supposedly they shut that down because that's where they turn. And they do fly up there pretty low,
Smoky Hill bombing range.
yeah, which makes sense. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. It's still pretty fine line there as far as who would have some authority. I did have one guy from the state tell me that I need to get with Kansas Department of Agricultural too, that they may have some guidelines. They might have some step in on this also.
So you think there's something that we should continue to look into? If it's a source of revenue for the county. But I mean, if you do it, I want to make sure people are protected.
I don't think I'm going to answer that. If you don't mind,
Yeah.
I'm not really like anyway right now, so I'm going to push it some more.
Yeah.
It's all on how you feel. It is whether it helps the county, hurts the county. We definitely wouldn't. I don't know. They're going to get on the tax rebate.
Which
Probably
would take 10 years.
7. We'll get a portion, but you won't get the,
So in 7 years, we could increase our tax base.
which is a pretty small period for a county, for the history of the county.
I mean, it looks to me like anytime you can increase, your tax base, if you can bring jobs in, And even if it's not bringing people into work in it, if it gives your local people other places to get jobs. And then what's most important to me is it gives us another outlet in this county for our grain. And then a cheap source of fertilizer.
You know, depending maybe where your location is, you know, like with the wind farms, they do a road recovery, which is you draw up to where the difference in the road maintenance, they would fund for the county or for the township. They do that with the wind farms. It's another agreement for the roads. That might be another source of, revenue to help that also, because your township may not have the funds to do that.
So if we would have done something like that would have been done on these street buses, I'm just throwing one out there like Golden Mill. If they had said, these are the roads that you're gonna be using, so you need to pay more of the maintenance on these roads, or they tear them up now, then the township just has to pay for it. So
If
that
you
would
want
be-
us to do, if you want us to do this or allow this or what have you, or back you and so forth, then you may need some help.
There's some, look into the lease and make sure that's covered.
Good, good. Yeah.
This still in Truesdale? Can you go?
Right now, I have jury duty on that. I think I showed that to you last week on the
I didn't know
same
if any
day.
of you were planning on it.
If that gets canceled out.
Yeah, Carl's plans come from change. Huh?
Yeah, I sent you that.
Rita?
Rita actually came up last week and talked to me a little bit. She said typically what I wanted to bring up wouldn't be the meat, that shouldn't be brought up there. But she thought it would, but she did think if I'm able to go, that it would be a good idea to bring it up to two of the scientists that would be there. Just as another reminder to them.
What's that date?
March
Tuesday.
26th,
March
at
26th.
9 o'clock. Tuesday.
You're not going?
Well,
He has jury duty if he comes up.
what's the chance of that, right?
Unless Mike could write him an excuse note at the hall pass.
That would work, wouldn't it?
There you go.
That would have business.
Critically needed.
That would work.
So anyway, I didn't know. Yeah, okay.
Did they, you would know, would that be canceled that morning, or would that be canceled that night?
Is that the same time as it?
Could be that morning.
Renter.
You would, could be that
landowner
Could be that
tenant
morning.
meeting
You'd hope you'd hear
right.
something before, but
Noon.
many times things are settled that morning at the courthouse
It was
steps.
an email, it was a poster from.
Or after you've all filled in there and they take a look at everybody in their pools.
So they could all be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I haven't been personally involved, but I know one the jury actually went out, and while the jury was out, they negotiated and settled it. And in the meantime, the jury came back and handed the verdict to the judge. That was
No,
never
that's
read to anybody. They settled it.
From the land.
So, I mean, literally.
If you're not,
Yeah, I did.
I'll just select it.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm good. You good? You guys have anything else for me, or any thoughts or anything? If that would get canceled the night before, I'll probably go to that meeting. Because she did say that I wouldn't have to submit nothing, but I do have it ready to go. So,
You know, is it a criminal or a civil case?
see, I don't even know that either.
Call the clerk of the court, you can ask them to tell you if it's a criminal case, you can call the county attorney and say, do you think this is gonna settle, or do you have a pretty good feel that this is really gonna happen? I've got other places I should be. I mean, I don't know the county attorney up in Millsworth now anymore.
Okay.
They might be able to give you some information.
Okay. I'll do that tomorrow then. Okay, everything else is going good then? All right, I'll get out of your way.
Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay.
So how's Maxwell going? How's Maxwell going?
it's still there. I'm trying to get blown away the other day, but
I heard you guys had a big wind blast on.
it did it pretty hard. Quite a few trees went down. But it was all the bigger jets. Took her power out for a while. We didn't have a whole lot of damage here.
All right, well,
I'm just down here because it's time for Karen's step raise, April 1st. So she's going to go from a step range 4-4 to a 4-5. Effective April 1st.
how did your job evaluation go?
She did pretty good. I mean, they all have some issues that they have to work on. You can pull that and stuff. Yeah, she did pretty good. I mean,
She's made efforts to.
and she tries really hard to fix those things and to pay attention and stuff. She does. I think some of like with hers is lack of training. She just didn't get the right training. She didn't get it explained to her. You know, it's just been told to you to do it this way, but she doesn't know the steps of why you do it that way. I think if they learn the steps of why, then it helps them to remember.
Certainly a lot of fours in there.
4-4-4-4. I know. She's really dependable. You can't. She's never late. She always stays late. She always shows up. She does anything you ask her to do it. She'll do it for you.
Make a motion. I'll make a motion we increase Karen Petty from step 4, or range 4, step 4 to step 4, or to range 4. Just started. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just a minute. To increase Karen from range 4, step 4 to range 4, step 5, effective 4/1/2019.
Second. A motion and a second to raise
too many fours.
Karen Petty from range 4, step 4 to range 4, step 5. All in favor? Motion passes.
That's all I had. Unless you guys had something for me.
Tell me,
Going okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Tell me about the new driver's license now.
You mean the star?
Yes.
Okay, so
Huh?
yeah. So you have to have that effective 2020. You have to have that star on your license when you go into any federal building, any military base, or fly. Or you're going to have to bring all your documents with you, like your birth certificate, your social security card, and if you have a passport, that kind of helps. You'll have to bring all that with you in order to get into the plane or fly or get into the federal building. Or really what that star means is that we've vetted your paperwork. We've looked it over, we've sent it, and everything's great. So all you have to do is hold your driver's license out and go on it. Now, for you guys, it's really not that big of a deal because you pretty much have to do your passport or you do your birth certificate and your social security. It is your wife's that have the biggest issue because they not only have to produce if they have a passport, then they're fine. If they don't have a passport, then they have to produce their birth certificate, your social security card, and your marriage certificate because their birth certificate does not match their social security.
So to get on the planes,
To get on a plane on 2020, you will either have to have the star on your license or you will have to bring all those documents with you.
My license expires in 2022.
Yeah.
It costs you
$16 $16
To get the star.
to get the star, or you can wait till you renew. Now, you can renew.
so you still have to take your shoes off?
Yeah.
Well, if you get,
So this isn't gonna change, it's just you're gonna have to have more paperwork.
you just have to have more paperwork because your documents weren't
You
vetted.
don't have the star.
Really.
They weren't vetted. So,
Can you just come in and get the
yeah,
stuff?
oh yeah. Yeah, you just bring your license, come in, it costs $16. You can do it. Or
But you
if
have
you're
to
going
bring
to
all your
renew,
paperwork with you.
if you're going to renew,
Only one
it's
time.
free with
Yeah.
your renewal. You know, we just ask, you know, you bring it in,
Oh, it's free
and it's
to
free.
renew.
We don't charge anything extra. We're just gonna renew you
There's who my
and put
driver's
the
license is.
Yeah.
star. Now, if you have a CDL, we can't help you. You have to go to Great Bend if you have a CDL.
So if I want to do this, I need to bring in my driver's license and passport.
Correct. If you have a current passport, you just need your driver's license and your passport. We're gonna scan both of them, and your social security card.
23.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go do it.
Yeah, you and me are gonna be a couple of years.
Now, you
of-
can renew a whole year in advance. Like if it's 2022, and you can start renewing a year to your expiration date.
I don't know if I have a social security card.
So then you're gonna have to go and
Yeah.
print the application off
Then you bring your
online.
green card.
You'll have to print your application off online. You'll have to go to Reno County. It's right next to Ken's Pizza. The hardest part is figuring out how to get signed in and get your little number. You hand that with your license to the Social Security person. They will mail you a year. Or we can use your taxes if your taxes have if your auditor didn't white out or didn't block out your Social Security. We can use your current tax form, that first page where you sign. I can use that for your Social Security. Yeah. It's on that yellow postcard that you get when you
Yeah.
renew. No one ever reads those
And
things.
that's gonna
Well, I
take
did,
effect
and I'm
when?
still confused.
Morgan was going to do her driver's license today, and we were trying to hustle around and get all that stuff, and it's like, you're going to have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. The hardest part is the marriage certificate. Now,
She's got a passport.
yeah, if she has a passport, then she's already proved her marriage and stuff. So she just needs her passport, her social security card, driver's license, that yellow card they sent in the mail. She's going in. She doesn't have a social security card, she'll have to go to the office or bring in her taxes.
So you take her to Ken's Pizza, you can go get your-
Right across the street from Ken's Pizza. It's right over there.
If you get a
Win-win
new,
situation.
if you get a new social security card, can you get a lemonade?
Well, they
That's-
tell
that's
you
the
not
problem.
to, but you could thank the bigger cities, because in the past, they said all those laminated social security cards we couldn't use to vet your paperwork. But now they've thrown such a stink, and the bigger counties and the bigger cities have thrown such a stink that the state is saying, no, you can use those. I would not laminate mine. But if it is laminated, we can use those. See, they even said those black carbon birth certificates that got issued way back. I think Nick has a black and white one. They even told us at that point we couldn't use those. But now they're like, no, as long as they have the seal on them. Okay, you can.
Birth registration
Nope,
card?
can't use that. Have to be a certified
I got a
copy.
seal on the back of it.
No,
Can't
they
get
won't
it.
let us. They won't let us use
See, my
those.
DD
See, I thought-
214s are all black.
Yeah, we
But
can use.
back then, you know, it was
See, I thought you were supposed to memorize your number and then eat your card, because you didn't.
Oh, You can actually, I think you can get 10 or 12 copies of your social security card in your lifetime. Unfortunately, my kids, it's down to maybe 8 for them. But, yeah, I think it's like 10 or 12 in your lifetime. I'm pretty sure my kids are down to 8 because I keep losing them, so you don't have to get a copy. Really, it's just the girls. Well, I think they're in the pink box now.
Makes you start thinking, doesn't it?
I know I've got the star on the license, but
And the
that doesn't
majority
look
of
at
your
their-
kids already have the star. It may not be on their license, but it may be on the star. So if you want us to check like the kids, you give us your driver's license, I bet they have the star already on it. I know Bella's documents have already been vetted. And you guys had to produce all these documents when you got your original driver's license. They just didn't scan them and vet them.
So
at
this
that
will
time.
be, once you do it one time,
You don't have to do it
then
again.
you never have to do it.
They're just trying to catch all the people.
That's what they told you the first time.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it again.
I got my social security.
So birth certificate, certified copy of the birth certificate. Not the little card that you carry. We get those all the time and people get all nervous. Can't use those. They want those. Anything else?
Just told Lori to bring in the fire safe and
I'm
set
glad
it
I asked that
down.
question.
I know. It is a big thing.
We have discovered we don't have a title for one of the fire trucks. It was purchased back in 2008. It's the one that was shipped in from Florida or something. You two remember that?
Is that the green and white, the,
I wouldn't know.
I remember it has the funky light on the
Yeah.
front that Bolt was
It was
so
a
proud
purple truck.
of. Well,
Yeah.
he never applied to get a title of it. So, Ladonna checked, because we bought it out of Missouri, but I know it came from Florida.
yeah,
There's never was a title issued in Missouri for it either.
really?
No. So, this is where you come in. Explain what we have to
You're
do
gonna have to go get a quiet title
through the court.
through the court. That's the only way we can title it. And once
So
you
I'm
get that
paying
journal
this to you.
entry, then I can.
Have I
I
been
can
served?
help.
I don't know.
We searched forever.
Ever. And evidently it was paid with a counter check where it didn't run through AP, because I have no record of it through AP. It was, the checks were cut on a Monday and a Thursday, I think, 'cause we did a $10,000 deposit and then we paid the remaining 54,000 or whatever it was. But they were on odd days. So,
Did that come through a broker?
I can't find.
Because it wasn't purchased directly from that department and
Huh?
Yep, it came out of Florida.
St. Peter.
You got one. So do I.
So,
I wasn't sure where mine was at, but I
we
got it.
purchased it, we paid.
But yours is
company in
laminated,
Missouri,
isn't it?
It's all
No,
right.
it's just in a sleeve.
But it
Oh,
came
okay.
from Florida.
Yes.
So,
I should put mine in this thing.
And it was green and white and had a propeller on
Yes.
the front.
but I had Marshall look all through the truck thinking maybe paper got thrown in the glove box or something. He said there's nothing in there.
Quiet title, not.
It's not a big deal.
So
Yep, and so once you get the journal entry, then you guys give that to me and then I can title.
That's in my Okay, cool. Yes.
You guys have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Ready?
Yeah. I have appointments at 10 with Deb Scheibler.
She's not coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so she emailed you too?
Mhm.
Okay. She's very sick this morning. We'll make sure the schedule. The reason I asked her to come next week is because
You don't know
I
anything
can't
about that.
very well. I mean, they're a regional workforce development agency. And I think what they need is a renewed memorandum of understanding with the county that all of, various counties in their service area probably has something to do with their compliance at a federal level when they get, but this is where I said she's the one that needs to explain all of that. So, we are trying to work with them though, that if we get our incubator program set up such that it has various training components, they can reimburse us for the services we provide to clients that they're serving. So it could conceivably give us a few $1,000s a year to help with the ongoing operation of that. So I'm trying to, I don't know, work well together with them. They haven't really, I haven't seen that much husband in our county over the years. We've been in their service territory for a long time. I think it probably isn't necessarily that they're deliberately not trying to give service here, but I think they work best when there's the kind of employers that have HR departments and hire with particular like job descriptions and stuff like that. A lot of our employers don't advertise in that way, so it's a little harder to know how to work with them. Having that in more, I don't know, a program that's providing kind of the same type of job for a group of people that we can train in a particular way. So, anyway, we'll reschedule that, but thought maybe I'd also take advantage of this time. We're working on a grant application to USDA that would provide more assistance to the incubator development. The main components of what we're asking for in funding are some funding to do some remodeling on the inside of that building. It's got a bathroom that is pretty crude downstairs. If we could put in a couple of ADA bathrooms, configure part of the area so that it would have closed off offices, kind of what we saw in the shared workspaces that we toured in Wichita, and create kind of a break room area. That would be a component of it. It would offset some of our salary expense for the year. We have been doing this for several years where we have grants that contribute to our salaries because the $80,000, roughly give or take, that we get from the county each year doesn't fully cover all of our operating expenses, so we just need to expand into our bridge through grants, and it's one of those examples. We pay for computers in the area, a contract with Flex Jobs, which is an agency that basically offers some job coaching and connections to the range of companies that are hiring remote employees, and will help us filter through what are legitimate places to work with and those that are more scheme-like, because there's a range out there. Those are the main listing churches that we're seeking to get funding for. So I have a letter from last year when we were trying to develop an application for a grant to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We weren't able to get some key components pulled together, and we didn't submit the application. But we have a letter from last year that I modified just a little bit to hit on a couple of things that I think they're going to score on this one. So we added some wording that this initiative is strategically aligned with the goals of Stafford County to develop a more robust and higher paid workforce, and to leverage the presence of broadband to achieve greater connectivity. The County of Stafford works collaboratively with Stafford County Economic Development to develop the rural economy with the goal of increasing the tax base, which is needed for the county to continue providing the essential services that support a strong quality of life. Other than that, it's not new wording. It kind of talks about some of the things that the agencies have worked on together over the years. I'm not seeking any funding from the county for it. It's just a letter of support because the scoring criteria speak to whether this is strategically aligned to greater region. Some regions of Kansas have a regional economic development agency, like Central Kansas has one. So if I could just say that we're looking strategically with the county and whatever other cities and things seem relevant here, I hope the titles are some sequence in there. This is the draft for this year, and this is the one from last year. We have some time before the deadline today, maybe next week or.
But this is just an application for applying for the grant?
Yes, so we're applying for a grant that we're still drafting it, but I think we're looking at about a $7,000 request. And we're able to show that from other grants, so Kansas Health Foundation, for example, is giving us a grant. South Central Community Foundation gave us $1,000 for chairs and desks. And then economic development is dedicating funding for utilities and general overhead for the building. So,
I would be okay with that.
Do you have much contact with the Department of Commerce? Kansas Department of Commerce?
Yes and no. Yes, to a certain degree, we're on the same email list. They have meetings, which I have increasingly deprioritized over time because I feel like we can sit and just talk and then not
Well, do you
do
remember the
anything that takes action toward a specific, I don't know, outcome. So, yes and no.
What was that meeting that we went to? You know, I took you and Richard Foster and Steve. And that was something, Economic Development Alliance. You know, we went to Topeka. Remember, this was years ago.
I remember going with you to a Western Kansas Rural Economic Development Alliance, they call it CREDA, and we do participate in those meetings regularly. In Greensburg, I remember I don't remember one
Kurt
specifically.
went too.
Really?
At the hospital.
Well, and Doris. We went to one
That was at the
Doris.
hospital.
Huh?
At the hospital.
Yeah.
I remember going.
I don't remember Carolyn.
I don't,
being there.
yeah, I think I
Well,
just
because
remember
we
you
went
and I
to
driving.
Doris was there.
Because we stopped at Greensburg and the wind generating division.
I remember
After we
it was at-
finished the meeting, we went over and talked to that guy.
I don't think Carolyn was there. I think it was you, me, and Doris.
Okay. Well,
I
and
remember you
Carolyn
and I drove,
went.
we went to a meeting at the Methodist Church in Greensburg after things had been rebuilt.
Yeah, and then we went to
In the old county car.
Then we went to BTI and looked at their wind generating division. And my question is, I don't understand why the Kansas Department of Commerce is contacting commissioners, wanting their personal emails and phone numbers.
To answer that question. One of my frustrations is they can't seem to keep an email list very current for just economic development directors. We'll get some emails and then we won't.
Because I told the assistant
Just
that
go straight to
we,
street, yeah.
you know, that we prefer, you know, economic development or the county clerk as being the filters for weekly.
I understand.
So anyway, I'm gonna make a call this afternoon.
So we haven't always paid dues to the Kansas Economic Development Alliance. So it's more of an association, although they staff it with government staff.
Right.
And I've kind of had this conflicted feeling about why are we paying dues to participate in a Department of Commerce? You know, shouldn't that be part of what we all pay taxes for?
Right.
And the other thing is that it seems to be much more, the people who's most supported are like Lenexa. Like, the guy from Lenexa is really highly involved in it. It just doesn't seem to always fit rural as well as it fits a much more urban model. And so we haven't always paid dues. And I've gone to a few of their meetings and I've kind of considered maybe trying to be in because as much as CREDA, they feel more like us, but I could also give the same criticism of CREDA. You know, we all kind of socialize and make each other feel good, but what are we actually doing that's creating new business?
Well, and this alliance they were just another set of ears. I mean,
Well,
they have no, I mean, they could request, you know, to the Department of Commerce, but as far as this alliance, you just, like you said, got together and talked.
yeah, and sometimes I feel like they don't look at things as, I don't know, so for example, they are on their legislative platform in favor of reinstituting the old, they call EZs. It seems like economic zone is not right, but basically they were rural areas designated as, I don't know, economically depressed such that they warranted some incentive advantage. And so it would allow, not all, but certain investments to be exempt from sales tax on construction materials. Well, it's very much along the lines of what we dealt with the grocery store. We actually got asked for testimony on this bill that Frida has supported. We did what we actually went up and gave testimony on how that worked with our grocery store project. But it's just, I look at that bill and think, oh my gosh, it could be so much more artfully done. Instead of going back to the complexity of what we had in the history of it, and they're basically creating a program where you have government staff filtering through the application process. It should be, you shouldn't put the Department of Commerce as a middleman. It should be just simple Department of Revenue. You put in an exemption request and you meet the criteria or you don't, and then they approve it. It's no different than what the county submits for the things that are, county projects. Why Frida chose to approach it that way is confounding to me. But
More bureaucrats.
Yeah. This looks like we signed it, we need a motion to sign this.
Well, aren't you gonna do a final letter first? And that's just a draft.
well, I mean, it's in final form. I emailed it to Nita so that it could be. I just printed on the letterhead. I mean, I just had it during our meeting here, but
This week,
Do you want it on an
I'll,
official letter?
let me print it and then you sign it next week.
okay.
No.
You're not in a hurry for it.
no,
so-
we
Okay.
we have some time for the deadline. Okay, it just takes time to
I'll just go to
make around
The
the
word
various.
snippet.
Well, I mean, just like this, a process of considering it and getting it and all that kind of stuff. We're just trying to make the rounds of the debates.
Want the motion now then?
I just put it was a consensus. I'll just print it on the letterhead and you can sign it next week.
How did you ready to go last week?
It's hard for me to actually. So some of the G&D guys were very encouraging afterwards. They were very thankful for the meeting. They were very encouraging. They felt good about it. I think a lot of the others of us would say, we weren't sure how that. So I'm taking encouragement that the G&D folks were positive, but I didn't hear any clear kind of conclusion.
You just kind of come down and look at everything, and didn't have much to say.
Well, no, he came down and looked, and then we had a roundtable discussion. He got to, I would say the new secretary got to see firsthand some of how could I put this? At least I observed the dynamic where DWR was acting in a very authoritative way and not always sending a clear message about what they were anticipating. And in fact, okay, case in point, I think I should say that one of those DWR folks has said something about this. Cutting things 15%. I mean, just dismissive like this. There were a few times in a mature way, he got a little bit tested. Just say 15% like it's nothing. It is significant. You can't say that it's not. And so, anyway, let me make sure it's close. I think that different times as a problem, I think, is that we have a lot of fragmented discussions on this topic. And what are you saying? Different interpretations of what was included that evening. We're trying to reduce that with this. And so there are several people that we're trying to push for what do we need to have done? What do we need to know? And where's the holdup kid within the Department of Interior? How can we address that? And again, as I say, I don't know on her clear conclusion, so I'm not sure I would have that same confidence that it was great. But the GMB folks felt like that there wasn't that much left to, they were actually pretty close to being some conclusion of who you are. So that's what they said.
don't know if you believe what he said.
It's something.
Now we have too much water.
Pardon?
I said, now we have too much water.
Yeah.
Yes, Nebraska. Did McConaughey Dam break or
There was one dam that was damaged.
but it was smaller?
I can't remember the name.
See, I saw a picture, and this was several days ago, so it might not be even new news, but a dam that broke, and part of the reason it stands out to me is it broke a bridge in a section of Highway 281.
Yes. And some cars went off, and there's a car parked on the edge. And Sand Hill Rangers going confused because there's so much water up there that they're back down here.
Yeah.
The DWR people that were there at the meeting, the day after the staff office, or the day after the state office.
State office, all those staff office also had a pretty much the main guy that was not there.
He's short time ready.
Appreciate everything you do.
Are you guys going to the meeting statement?
Oh, yeah.
I can't go, I've got 10 o'clock.
Which meeting, April 4th?
Yes.
You just, Phil goes there as
think-
well.
That's one of the election, yeah. That's very good.
Oh, is
So
that-
Clayton and I are on the byway committee, and they asked us to set up a ribbon cutting for the new signage that's out there. So before I forget about it, here's your flyer. It's not until like the end of May, but if I don't tell you now, I'll forget-ish. So
Did you forget-ish?
I'll forget-ish, maybe.
24th at 10 a.m.
So I have two people, Julie Lorenz and Brad Lovelace, to reach out to yet. Have not found their emails to invite them, but Sue wanted me to invite them, so I'll work on that. But other than that,
Did
I'll
you say
get with
anything
you.
to Kurt?
Do what?
The guy at the great band.
Curtis and BJ
Curtis
are
Will.
okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have anything on their calendars for those
And
days.
Scott Shields coming and,
Scott has not. He was part of the email thread with Sue
yeah.
and Deb Gruber, but Deb and Scott have not specifically responded. Sue said she could be here. I assume Scott can. He's included in the emails. Hopefully he can. But I think it's far enough out that hopefully they can have a whole lot on their calendars. But so like I said, I need to reach out to Brad, Lovelace, and then Julie Lorenz. I can't find their emails online, so I'm gonna have to call up and get their email addresses. But I will get those sent out, and then I don't know what they want to talk about. Like, do I need to have like a formal like program for it for people to? Okay.
Where's that gonna be at?
The rest area out on Highway 50. You put that,
That's where that new gazebo and
Yeah.
information panel.
and so they put they redid a bunch of stuff up on K4, the lookout up there, and did a ribbon cutting for that. And so this committee that we're on felt like, hey, we should do something
Stafford County.
down here. So I guess I'll work on it.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's in the works.
Anyway, I can't go, but I'm planning on going to KCCA. So,
You are?
Yeah.
In Wichita?
No, in Junction
Junction
City.
City. So
I don't know
you'll
that.
need to go ahead and register you for that. Is Barb going?
Depends on whether it fits around.
Yeah, if it's raining and I can go, I'll go.
I'll for
Like
sure
tomorrow.
register you. You gotta get your own hotel.
Yeah.
I'll do that for you. And we won't have a meeting that week.
Because you're going to be in.
Our conference is in Wichita that week. So May 1st, right? Yeah, May 1st there won't be a meeting.
You going to take Carol?
Right now I do. That's what I write down.
And I think
And you're still gone April 3rd.
4th, or 3rd, when is it?
3rd's a Wednesday.
Yes, I have to take it.
Okay. I got an updated list of the hospital board of directors. District 3 needs 2 people and District 2 needs 1.
Yeah.
These are the current people on the board, there's only 4.
Well, it's not up to us. I mean, it's up to their board.
It's up to you guys to find people to recommend to the board.
I thought it was the board found it and they recommended to us that we appoint.
That's not how we've done it in the past.
Then we do that economic development.
That's how economic development does it. You guys typically find the board members for this.
Well,
So there's a district, and there's a position District 2 and District 3.
2 positions in 3 and 1 in
What district, are you 3?
2. You're 3, you're 2. Kurt's 3, you're 2.
How many?
You need 2.
I need
But you've been trying, I know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
had 2 that almost are.
it's hard to get people to want to do it. But see, over there you had Lynn Pence. She moved. And then Kate Payne was on for a while. I don't know what happened
and then the guy that has the convenience store.
there. He was on for a long time. But I was just curious, so I had Joe send me that list. And
So are these the people?
that's the whole history.
Oh, that's the history
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, this is your current list.
That's who it used to be on.
Yeah.
Well, so it used to be on.
Just something to keep in mind.
And it's a non-paid position, right?
What do they mean by having a 4-year term? I mean, there's people been on there for 30 years.
I don't know if they reappoint them every 4 years. I don't know how it works.
We don't have anything to do with anything.
No, once you find them. Yeah, I don't know.
They just stay on themselves.
You get it.
I've had one person talk to me.
You get
at
a
the beer
dinner.
over
You get
there.
dinner.
Wait a minute.
He's not in your district.
He's not in my district.
He's in Todd's.
Oh, who? It's nice. He's asked a lot of questions.
So, anyway, just something to think about.
Why is Marion Patrick in my district? District 2? Is that the same Patrick's?
That's not right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say just to those factors.
No, never.
Well, when I'm over at that well,
So-
I'll ask them if there's any volunteers.
They're probably really over there.
On the current district now. Let's see. Tracy Ridge. Do we need to do a 10-minute executive session to discuss our district assistant deputy fire marshal's pay?
Is that a motion?
I was asking him what to do.
Okay, I've got to get out of here in 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's
Just
how
do 5
it's carried.
minutes.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session for 5 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussing the personnel for executive session, 5 minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.